Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Houn Show. I'm your host, Dixie Shank. I'll be with you for the next 45 minutes or so. Want to welcome everyone to the stream who's watching live and hope you're having a great evening so far. It's been an interesting day for me, Work during the day, cut the grass in the evening. So a couple of housekeeping items. So this is a new stream. This is our second official episode, I guess you could say. And we are going to steadily build on that and just keep adding stuff. Managed to secure a couple of upcoming interviews or guest speakers, you could say. So they'll, over the next couple of weeks, we'll have them on. We also started working on some show topics for the next several weeks. We kind of built that out. We're going to do like one show a week, I believe, on plan, like a planned show to cover a topic of discussion. My hope is that in the future that we could implore some type of maybe a survey to see what stories people want to cover or hear about or talk about, and we'll do our best to research and bring that information to the podcast. As it stands right now, like the couple things we're working on that we plan to have some information, to discuss over the next couple of weeks. So this Friday night at 10 o'clock, we're going to be doing a show covering DEI, basically to discuss origins of it and how it's being implemented and so on and so forth. We also have plans to talk about, we're going to do an episode or more to discuss Bitcoin. There's some big news coming up with Bitcoin. If you are a Bitcoin person, I know you know about this, but the halving is coming up and it's not halvening. I keep hearing that word, halvening. It's not halvening, it's just having. Halving. Right. There's no EN in there. So anyway, so the Bitcoin halving, we'll discuss that before. We don't have much time left. I think the halving is supposed to happen around April 18th or so on, sometime in that, a couple of days of that. So we'll need to probably put that on the, do a podcast on that pretty soon. We'll also talk about, as far as Bitcoin ETFs, and what that means to Bitcoin, how Bitcoin is being shaped or how the adoption rate is going to increase and what does it mean to have ETFs in the Bitcoin space. We're also going to talk about Bitcoin as an asset and what it's really best for right now, right? Future looking, is going to be a different story, but for right now, what is the best use case for it at this moment, and we'll kind of delve into that a little bit, talk about, the different ins and outs of that. A couple other things we're going to be bringing up on the next couple of shows. We're going to do something that's been talked about quite a bit. I mean, there's plenty of information out there, but I feel like I want to just put my own take on it, my own research, because it also helps me learn too when I'm researching it for the show. But I want to do an episode. We're going to discuss predictive programming, what it is. What is predictive programming, and what does its effects do to you, and provide some examples that that I feel like are good examples of predictive programming that you can kind of sink your teeth into and see what's going on. So another item too, globalist agenda. What is the globalist agenda? What are they trying to do? What is their goal? Right? What do they want? And we'll be covering some of that stuff along with censorship, Elon Musk, friend or foe, and Trump lawfare. We'll be discussing these topics over the next several weeks. Like I said, we're planning on doing a lot of these ad hoc shows where we just come on and talk, maybe have a surprise guest or somebody on the stream with us discussing some type of topic or issue. But our Friday night at 10 show is going to be our topic discussion show where we're going to have a more of a formal type agenda where we're going to cover certain things and discuss those, possibly have guests on to discuss them with us. But we will do throughout the week these ad hoc live streams. You just have to, catch it when it's on. Typically, it's going to probably be around the 10 o'clock time frame when we started. We started a little late tonight, but like I said, ad hoc, right? So we just it's impromptu. We just hop on and start streaming when we finish our other routines that we have to do around the homestead. So if you would like to call into the show, something else I'd like to mention is if you'd like to call into the show, you can call in. We don't have to put you on camera. You can just call a phone number. It'll ring me, and I can put your audio right into the podcast so people can hear you, and we can discuss stuff that way. If you want to give us a call, the number's on the screen right now. It is not toll free, of course, but I don't think that really matters anymore. But yeah, that's the number that on the screen right now, 762-268-1605, that you can dial to call into the show, and we'll take your call on the air. Now, when you call that number, it's going to prompt you to say your name. That's just the call screener. So you just have to say your name, and then you have to give me a moment to answer the call, accept the call, and then it puts you on the air. So there's going to be a little bit of a transitional period there before you're on the air live to talk to everybody or to me or to whoever. So just keep that in mind when you call in. Also, if you do want to participate in the stream and possibly do an interview, you can reach me at this email address on screen, dixie.shate@protonmail.com. You can email me there, and we can set up a time and date for an interview with you, whether it be live or just pre-recorded, and we play it back later after, stuff, it basically kind of speaks for itself. So if you would rather do it live or pre-recorded, we can do either one. Of course, the pre-recorded, would need to be set up at a time that I'm available, you're available, and we can get on there and record the show for an hour or so, depending on how long the interview goes. I don't typically think that they're going to last much more than an hour. I try to get these things done in 1 hour. So it's 1 hour segments. I'm not doing any Robert Breedlove here, 52 hours or something. I mean, maybe in the future we'll do some kind of special that lasts that long and then divide it up. I don't know, but we're going to be shooting for an hour type time frame for our shows, just to keep it simple and to the point, and just hit the high notes. My goal is to kind of point people in the right direction, or at least get them to ask the question so they go and dig on it and get the details for themselves. I mean, that's really the only way you learn. And that's the best way to learn. It's the best way to absorb the information and to find out the truth for yourself. I can't tell you the truth. You're going to have to seek the truth out yourself. So 1 hour shows. We also are going to be working on adding some additional features. There's some on-demand stuff that we want to look at. There's all kinds of stuff in the world of podcasting, as you know, and we're going to be trying to look at the best and see what we can bring to the show to make it a little bit more interactive or a little bit more, special or niche, and we'll it'll be a work in progress, I guess is the best way to say that. It will be a work in progress. So that being said, typically at this point, we would discuss any kind of breaking news. I don't really have any breaking news as far as something that's going on right now in the world that, other than the stuff that happened yesterday, obviously with Joe Biden announcing some crazy new holiday to usurp the Christian holiday or blaspheme against it. So, that did happen yesterday. We also have not really a whole lot of crazy going on. People posting stuff on X, as you imagine, there's all kinds of stuff out there that's posted, people discussing and what have you. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of nothing earth shattering that would be qualified as breaking news. I know a lot of April Fool jokes out there today. One of my two favorite April Fool's jokes that I saw today were Jason Lowry, who's the guy that wrote the book Soft War. If you haven't read it, I think he stopped publishing copies. He stopped selling copies because the military asked him to stop, I think is what happened. And he's been asked not to talk about it for right now. So there are digital copies out there floating around that you can get your hands on, maybe even a paperback that you can find, but it's definitely worth checking out and reading. It's called Soft War by Jason Lowry. It's basically a thesis kind of deal. So anyway, so it's definitely worth checking out. But anyway, he tweeted today, he put up the CIA's logo, and he said, on behalf of everyone here at the CIA, we would like to thank you for supporting this PSYOP account. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then, of course, the other one that was really good was the James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe did one where he basically did like this 5-minute video where he's basically saying, I'm giving up. I can't do these exposure videos anymore. I just can't do it. You know, I cannot take this, you know, onslaught and these people attacking me and all this kind of stuff going on, and I'm done. And he actually, of course, right at the end, he says, I'm never going to give up, you know, and he does the April Fool thing. So it was pretty funny. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go out and check it out. But yeah, not really any super breaking news other than, I mean, the April Fool's jokes pretty much takes the cake. I mean, there's some stuff out there. Pfizer CEO wants to put biotech in all medications so doctors and the globalists know when you take your toxic prescriptions. So I guess there's the Pfizer CEO saying we do want to put, that's kind of funny because not too long ago they were talking about that's a conspiracy theory. There's no tracking software in the COVID vaccine. There's no such thing. That's all sci-fi. It's conspiracy theories. And here we have the Pfizer CEO wants to put biotech in all medications so doctors know when you take it. Just astounding. Let's see here if I can get this video to play. Give me just a moment here and get this set up. This is from a great channel, too, that I follow on Telegram called We the Media. They got a lot of good stuff on there as far as articles. You kind of have to take it with use discernment. And anytime you're reading any type of information, use discernment, you know, decide for yourself. You look for corroborating sources. You know, you need to be skeptical of any information that you're getting from anybody. It doesn't matter who. That's what's kind of got us in this mess right now is we have gotten to the situation where we trusted the wrong people or we just blindly believed whatever they told us. So, you know, use discernment. Don't just accept what somebody says because, you know, you think you can trust them, because that's how you get burned. And you will get burned. You will get burned. That's why we're in the situation we're in right now, to be perfectly honest. Let's see if I can get this video up so we can hear it. Yes, I believe so. All right, so I'm not going to be able to share the audio that way. I think I have a solution for that. Actually, at this point, I think what we're going to do, let me get the email down off of there. Like I said, brand new at this, still trying to work it out. I'm sure it's going to be quite entertaining with all the bloopers we're going to get at the beginning. But I want to go ahead and let our YouTube viewers know that you want to move over to Rumble or X to continue watching the stream, because we're going to start digging into some stuff that might not be in line with the terms of service for YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and leave YouTube. We appreciate everybody at YouTube watching. Thank you for tuning in. Head on over to Rumble or Twitter.